How you like me now? I'm here to expose the lies, the schemes, yeah, the power that froze. I'm breaking chains, no silence allowed. Speaking for the people, I'm making you proud. From the streets to the suites, I've been in the fight. Shining through the dark, bringing truth to light. Leadership in action, and the time is ours. Rodney's on the mic, speaking truth to power. Speak on it now, let the truth unfold. Speak on it now, gotta break the mold. From the pain to the purpose, let the voices tower. Rodney W. Collins, speaking truth to power. I've seen the struggle, I've felt the strain, but silence in the face of wrong is the real pain. It's more than a fight, it's the courage to stand and build a better world with this strength of our hands. Leaders and liars, we're calling them out. For the ones without a voice, we're ending the doubt. Every word I speak, every action I take, it's about the truth and justice, no room for fake. Speak on it now, let your voice ignite. Speak on it now, stand up, take flight. From the ground to the towers, let the movement flower. Rodney W. Collins, speaking truth to power. Stand tall, speak loud, let the world take note. Power to the people, every word I quote. This is your moment, the time is here. Rodney's on the mic, making change crystal clear. Speak on it now, time to break the chains. Speak on it now, let the truth remain. From the silence to the spotlight, let the voices shower. Rodney W. Collins is speaking truth to power. Good morning, good morning, good morning. 2025, we are here, we are back. First and foremost, giving honor to God who allows me to come at you in this manner on a weekly basis. I know it's been a little hiatus, y'all, but I appreciate y'all sticking with a brother, hanging with me. I love y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, this is the Rodney W. Collins Speak on this show. And hey, we're going to kick off 2020-25, right? Terrence Collins, my brother. Good morning, my brother. Appreciate you, appreciate you. Yeah, we're going to kick off this 2025, right? You know, it's beginning of the year. Everybody coming up with their resolutions. You know, I call them lifestyle changes more than resolutions because, you know, when you got resolutions, you tend to break them. If you got lifestyle changes, you get on them, you keep it pushing. So appreciate everybody tuning in. We on our 13th year. Speak on it. We got some things going on. Little change in formats going on. You see the new intro. That's one of the long ones. I got a shorter one, but I wanted to put that one out there today. But I got some different things going on. But we're going to keep the In the News segment, the Mind, Body, and Soul segment, and some other things going on. Interviews, conversations, just, you know, getting back to the basics. You know, the election's over. We really didn't get into a lot of discussion after the election. We didn't have time. You know, I took a little hiatus. Let me just be honest with y'all. I was drained. I was mentally, physically, and emotionally drained this year after this election. A lot was going on, but, you know, these things happen. You know, we got a new president about to take office January 20th. We'll see what's going to happen. The ironic part about January 20th this year is Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. We celebrate on the 20th, and the inauguration is also on the 20th. So we'll see how that turns out. You know, they were asking about changing it. I don't think that's going to happen, but, you know, things happen in these processes, so we go from there. But I hope everybody out there had a safe new year, good holiday season, but we're going to jump into what we're going to do this year. And we just going to go ahead and get rolling, man. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate everybody for sticking with me through this year. I know, like I said, I took that hiatus. I needed it. I was emotionally, mentally, physically drained, but I'm back, y'all. I'm back. We're doing big things this year, so we're going to go ahead and make it happen. But let's go ahead and get into this, and let's kick it off with some news. Let's go. In the news. I know y'all probably wondering had to take my glasses off. I can't read without with the glasses on. They're for long distance. But anyway, in the news. So as we've seen in the news, former President Jimmy Carter passed away at 100 years old the other day. And you know, it's normal procedure that when a president passes away, there's a thing called a state funeral plan where they pick up the body where it's at, where he died, his last breath was taken. They take the body to Washington, D.C. It lays in state for a certain amount of time. Then they take him back to where he wants to be buried. They have a ceremony there and everything. But they also do where the ceremony is they put the flag at half-mast. Normal process, normal routine, something we do. It's a custom when a president passes away. But our new President-elect Donald Trump, has a problem with the flag being at half-staff during his inauguration. Now, for those that don't know, it goes back in history where in 1954, presidential proclamation from Dwight Eisenhower created a standard 30-day period of public memorialization on all federal buildings, grounds, and naval vessels after the passing of a president. During the White House press briefing on Friday, Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre ruled out a reevaluation of the policy before Inauguration Day. And the reason this comes up is because Donald Trump went on Truth Social, his platform, said he's not happy about the American flags, that the American flags were fly at half-staff to honor the late President Jimmy Carter during his inauguration. And this is what he said: Democrats are all giddy about our magnificent American flag potentially being at half-mast during my inauguration. They think it's so great and are so happy about it because in actuality, they don't love our country, his normal line. Because of the death of President Jimmy Carter, the flag may, for the first time ever during the inauguration of a future president, be at half-mast. Now, this is a normal process, procedure, different thing like that. But this just lets you know, just from that statement alone, how this individual thinks. It's not about anybody else. It's not about anybody who served this country proudly, honorably, and so on and so forth. It's always about him. We can go back to when it was about how many people were at his first inauguration compared to Obama's inauguration. Then he brought up some things about how many people he had compared to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech on the National Capitol lawn, and all these different things. We already see, and we already knew, but we already see what we're going to be dealing with going into 2025 after this inauguration on January 20th. Now, I'm not one to beat a dead horse. However, we've seen the writing on the wall before the election. We've seen the responses after the election. So now we're at a point now where you have these two sides that can't seem to find common ground. We've seen it in the House yesterday with the vote for the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who eventually got it. I think it took 2 votes, something like that. But we're going to see a lot of this going forward. You got a lot of people saying that Elon Musk is a pseudo president. You got a lot of people saying J.D. Vance, you haven't heard from him. Where is he at? He's supposed to be the vice president. There's a lot of things that are in the grumblings. And I'm going to say there's going to be some things that are going to go on within the administration. May not affect us directly, but there's going to be a lot of grumblings because we see it already. Donald Trump does not like to share the spotlight. He wants to be the spotlight. And with that being said, with Elon Musk getting all this notoriety and everything like that, because he donated so much money and he gave him this fake job and all these different things, the Department of Government Efficiency and all this, pay attention. All I'm going to do is say pay attention. Because one thing we know for sure, when you have someone who loves the spotlight as much as Donald Trump, and someone else comes and steals a glimmer of that spotlight, there's going to be friction. You can count on it. Mark my word, you can count on it. So also in the news we've seen this week, and I want everybody to know that this is a time that we have to be safe. We have to be aware of our surroundings. We have to be aware of what's going on around us, in our cities, in our communities, all the above. We've seen this week where there were two different incidents, one in New Orleans, one here in Las Vegas, where they wanted to impose some terror. They wanted people to be scared. Now, the one in New Orleans, I don't know how many people were killed, but we sent our prayers out. It was 14 killed and 35 injured. And that was done by 42-year-old Shamsud Din Jabbar. Police shot him after the fact, fatally shot and killed him on the scene. But in Nevada, here in Las Vegas, the guy's name was, y'all bear with me. He had a Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside the Trump International Hotel. 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. He was the sole casualty of the explosion and is believed to have shot himself before the vehicle blew up. Now, both of these are veterans. Both of these are Army veterans. They're saying that there may not be a connection between the two. Both, they've served both of them were in Afghanistan at different times, but they both were at Fort Bragg at different times. So they don't think they did, but they both, leased these cars or rented these cars from the platform called Toro, where people put their cars up to be rented by other folks like a rental car company and so on, just like they do with the Airbnbs and everything like that. But they say there's no connection. But for two people to have the same mindset, now one took lives, one just caused a bunch of chaos and took his own life. But think about, and you've heard this comparison done many times this week on the news, but I'm not going to do this as a comparison. I'm going to do it as a fact. You have to think about the Timothy McVeigh incident in Oklahoma, the Oklahoma's bombing, federal building. These things are not coincidental when you have people that have served this country to decide to do these type things. Number one, PTSD is real. PTSD is real. The things that some of these people see in when they go to war zones, when they're in battles, when they see their brethren fall, PTSD is real. And let me caveat here for a minute, because this administration is coming in is also looking to decrease or take away or privatize VA healthcare. But then you have these two incidents where these two people needed help somehow, some way, and they did what they did. Now, mind you, as I said, nobody in Las Vegas got hurt except for the one, but he ended up shooting himself in the head. But there's a lot of things in the background we still don't know about. But these things are going to come to fruition as the investigation goes and so on and so forth. But I say that because, as I mentioned, VA benefits as far as healthcare, which includes mental health care, could be taken away from the people who actually need it, who are suffering from PTSD and other forms of depression, anxiety, so on and so forth. That's this administration coming in. The second thing I want to say is that when we look at these things, you have to look at the bigger picture. There's a lot of people that are upset with the results of this last election. There's a lot of people upset with the things that they're talking about taken away after the fact. When they said it out loud with Project 2025, as I reported on, and different things like this, the people that voted for him thought it was a hoax. They say, he's not going to take away our benefits. He's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. But now as they're reading and they're hearing these speeches and they're seeing what they're preparing for, there's a lot of people that voted for Donald Trump in this last election. They have buyer's remorse. So you have to be very aware of the people around you and what's going on around you, because there's some people in this world who just don't care. And they're going to do whatever they have to do to get their point across anyhow, anyway, no matter who becomes a casualty of them making their message. The third thing I want to bring up is this, and this is major for me. I'm still trying to get a hold and understand how these so-called, and I'm going to call them Republicans because that's the party they answer to, but as human beings in the Republican Party, how they can take something like what happened in New Orleans, how they can take something like what happened here in Las Vegas and change the narrative from facts to making it seem like this is something that is occurring because people are coming across the border. For them to say that these attacks are because of open borders is a straight up lie. It's a straight up lie. But they continue to run with the narrative. Why? Because you have people who are so gullible and don't read for themselves and don't take the time to understand that these people are selling you pipe dreams in order to get away with their agenda while they're taking from you at the same time. Marjorie Taylor Greene put a post up saying the open borders is the reason that what happened in New Orleans. First of all, he was an American citizen. He was an Army veteran. He was born in Houston, I think, or he lived in Houston. I can't remember. Where's this come from? Nothing about this individual was foreign other than his mindset of being a supporter of ISIS. That's what they said. They wrote it, whatever. But it has nothing to do with the border, the things going on at the border, trying to control the migrants coming in from the border. These are the things that when you step back and you really look at it, how did we get to this point in 2024 and 2025? And it goes back to 2018, 2019, with this fake news, these false agendas, and to tell people and just bold-faced lie, and people eat it up like candy because they have nothing else to hold on to. And these are politicians. These are the people who are writing your laws, putting legislation into place, putting all these things in place to dictate what goes on with your life. But they continue to lie, make up stories, and everything else about what's going on in this country, who, what, when, where, and why. And you have those that are gullible that eat it, and eat it. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So I would tell you, if you know someone who's on that fence of believing all the stuff coming out of the Republican Party, the lies and different things like that, tell them tune in to speak on it. Every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, YouTube and Facebook. I've changed the name. We'll get into it a little later, but tell them tune in and we can get the facts straight for them. We can get the facts straight for them, because that's one of the biggest things for me that is kind of a pet peeve of mine. And I know we all have a problem with liars. We all have a problem with liars. But to see this coming from people we call politicians and supposed to be doing for the people when they swear and do the oath to defend and uphold this Constitution for this United States against all foreign enemies, foreign and domestic, and so on and so forth and everything. And then they go out here and lie to the people and the Constitution that they swore to uphold and defend. That's where we're at. 2025, January 20th. Be ready. A lot of things are going to change. And I will say this, a lot of people won't want to do it, but I'm going to tell you to do it. On January 20th, tune in to the inauguration. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but listen to the speech that is given by President Donald Trump at that time. Listen to the words that are coming out of his mouth. Listen to what he has to say, and listen to how it's presented, because there's going to be parts in there, I'm sure, and he'll probably go off the rails, but there's going to be parts in there that are going to affect you by what he's saying. And I think we all need to be prepared. And we'll talk about it after the fact, but I want you to have some understanding about what the agenda is. We talk about Project 2012, we talked about Agenda 47, we talked about all these different things, but there's been some other underground swellings that are going on, especially when he's got these people that he's trying to put in these cabinet positions that are not qualified, but they're going to have to go in front of the Senate. And I would tell you to watch that too. Watch the Senate hearings of when they go up there and they tell you what they're going to do when they start asking these questions about their experiences, what they plan to do in the position, their backgrounds, all these different things. Because what you're going to find out, what you've seen, if you haven't been paying attention, most of the people he's putting in these positions are rich. They are the wealthy ones in this country. When did wealth become a precursor to becoming a politician? Because what we know is most politicians become wealthy once they get into office. Now we have wealthy people coming into office. It's the reverse. But when is the last time you've seen someone with wealth, actually give a damn about the masses? That's what's coming up. That's what's coming up. That's what's around the border. That's what's going on. Let's get these good mornings in here. My brother, Brian Hoodie. Good morning, my brother. Appreciate it. Happy New Year. Lachelle Hudson. Happy New Year, my people. Happy New Year, Lachelle. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your support. Reggie Piro, my brother. Good morning, my brother. Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy 2025 to everybody. I know I said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Happy 2025. Enjoy it. We're going to get into some things about 2025 in a minute. But in the meantime, in between time, let's go on and get into this. Fellas, it's time to elevate your grooming game. Introducing Respected Roots, the premium beard care line designed with black men in mind. Because your beard isn't just facial hair, it's a statement, a symbol of confidence, style, and strength. All right, let's talk about keeping your beard sharp and on point. First step, sculpting. Fresh lines are everything. Keeping it clean and defined sets the foundation for a great beard. Once I've got the shape locked in, it's time to cleanse. The Respected Roots Beard Wash gets rid of dirt and buildup without drying out my beard. It leaves my beard feeling soft and refreshed. Next up, the beard oil. This is where the hydration magic happens. I massage it in, making sure it gets to the skin underneath. It keeps my beard moisturized and smelling fresh all day. And finally, the beard butter. This locks in all the moisture, smooths out any frizz, and gives my beard that healthy, polished shine. Look at this. It's soft, full, and ready to dominate. From sculpting to styling, Respected Roots has everything you need to take your beard to the next level. Gentlemen, your beard deserves respect, and respect starts with Respected Roots. Use the link to grab yours today and receive 15% off. Trust me, your beard will thank you. RespectedRoots.com/Rodney 55428. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the show. Brian Hoodie, going to check out the products, brother. Yes. Check them out, man. Respected Roots, black owned products I found them online. Products are outstanding. As you can see, from the video, from a beard, I try to keep it right, get a little gray, but try to keep it right, keep it firmed up, keep it tight, keeps the moisture in and everything like that. So go to the website. Don't forget Rodney 55428. Rodney 55428 to get your 15% discount on anything you purchase. And as well, I know that commercial was strictly for the men and their beards, but they do carry body butters and so forth for the women. And women, if you got a man with a beard, go on and buy him a late Christmas gift. Get him that thing and tell him Rodney sent you. Rodney 55428 /Rodney 55428. All right, so now let's get into this. New year, new beginnings. That's what we hear. That's what a lot of people have been talking about. New year, new beginnings. Each year comes around. There's a lot of people that do, like I said, mention resolutions. I have a certain process that I do every year around midnight. I think I've talked about it before. About 11:45, light up my customary cigar, pour me a little shot of cognac, go out in the backyard, and I sit and I sip and I look at everything and think about everything that's going on in this past year. Then as time goes, when we get close to midnight, about 5 minutes of somewhere in there, I go in, I pour me and my wife a little Moscato or some champagne or whatever. We do a champagne toast at midnight or what, talking about some things. Then I head on back out, finish smoking my cigar, and then I talk to God. Now, we all should talk to God on a consistent basis. Let's just be real. But sometimes we find certain times where it's more relevant to us than other times. But one thing he placed upon my heart this week when I talked to him during the New Year's was be intentional. He said, be intentional. In everything you do, be intentional. And I had to pause for a minute and think, be intentional. I am being intentional, aren't I? You know, you start questioning, when someone tells you something, you're like, wait a minute, I thought I was doing that. But there's a lot of times where we think we're being intentional when we're truly not. We kind of sway away from being intentional sometimes, because sometimes we're more concerned about how people are going to receive what we have to say than being intentional about what we have to say, what we're doing, how we're going about things, and so on and so forth. But as we step into a new year, I want to kick things off with this. Step into this year being intentional. But step in with these 3 P's. There's 3 P's I want you to concentrate on. And I know everybody probably already has their lifestyle changes and everything, but I'm going to give you a little more so today. Step into this new year with the 3 P's. Purpose, power, possibility. Purpose, power, possibility. When we talk about purpose, there's, and y'all probably heard me say this on here before, but when I talk about purpose, there was a time when I was going through some things and I was trying to figure out, what is my purpose? You talk to other folks and they be like, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know why I'm here. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to find a way, and it just is not clicking with me. Purpose. Knowing why you're doing what you're doing. But I want to simplify it a little bit more. Because you can always figure out, try to find a way, and be engrossed in your purpose. But the other part of it is, can you define your why? Why are you doing what you're doing if it is your purpose? Clarity of your purpose. Identify your core values and what truly matters to you. This will help you align your actions with your goals. See, let me get back to the define your why, because this is something that I try to put into my mindset on a consistent basis when we deal with things. I do the who, what, when, where, why. Who, what, when, where, and why. And then how. How am I going to make it happen? But when you talk about your why, being included inside your purpose, why do you do the things you do? Why do you love the people you love? Why do you work at the job you work at? And a lot of us will answer with the job thing. They say, oh, well, I got to make money. I got to be able to keep a roof over my head and everything. But there has to be a purpose behind the reason you go to that job each and every day. Whether you like it or not, you have to find something that drives you, that motivates you, that pushes you to want to be in a job that you enjoy, that is purpose-driven, that defines your why each and every day you wake up. Why am I here today? Why did God bless me with another day to get it right? Define your why for you, not for everybody else. And I say that because we get caught up when somebody asks you who you are. Somebody will say, well, I'm a wife, or I'm a husband, I'm a mother, I'm this, but they never define who they are in the concept of what their why and what their purpose is in this life. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's great to be a mother. It's great to be a father. It's great to be a husband, a wife, whatever. But who are you? Who are you truly to your core? Because we define ourselves around the things that we do. We define ourselves around the things and the people that we interact with. Like if I'm a member of a fraternity, a lot of times people recognize me more about the fraternity than who I am as a man. Not that I'm in a fraternity. I'm just using that as an example. Y'all bear with me. But you get what I'm saying. Define your why. Look at your purpose. One thing that I've been pushing, and I've been pushing it over the last 3 weeks of the year, was for people to do a vision board. Create a visual representation of your aspirations to stay motivated and focused. So, and we all got a wall that ain't got nothing on it. We got a closet door that ain't got nothing on it, a mirror that ain't got nothing on it. Get you some stickies. Where's my sticky pad? I know I got it in here somewhere. There it is. Get you some stickies. Or use a bigger pad. Get you some stickies. Start writing things down and put them on your vision board. Sometimes you're going to have to take some things off to put some new things up. But by the end of the year, if you look at that vision board, because it's going to be blank right now, but by the end of the year, if you look at that vision board, you shouldn't be able to see anything behind what is placed on. And what I'm saying is, if you have a mirror, you shouldn't be able to see yourself. If it's a door, you shouldn't even be able to recognize that it's a door. Because what I've found out, and this works for me, is that when you take the time to take and write things down, whether it's a thought, a vision, a purpose, or a goal, when you take the time to write things down and put it up somewhere visually where you can see it, you will never forget it. You will never forget it. And you will concentrate on doing that because it's visual. A lot of times we think because it's not visible to us, we forget about it. But if you see that thing every day, it's a reminder. And I'll take it a step further. When you go to work and you have a work assignment, or you're in a position that things that have to be done at your job, you come up with a plan on how you're going to get that done. You write out an outline, what the reason is, what our final goal is going to be, how we're going to accomplish it, how we're going to accomplish it, how many people we need, what do we need, what are the resources we're going to have to use, how much is it going to cost. You write down all those things. But we don't do it with our own lives. We don't do it with our own lives. Which is why a lot of times we only can tell people who we are by what we do. Who we are by who we're married to, who we are by the people we interact with or the organizations I'm associated with. We can't tell people who we are to our core because a lot of times we don't know, because everything we have is based around our job. If we're really grounded in our faith, we talk about our faith, but faith without works is dead. But you have to work on yourself as well as working on everything else around you. We got some good mornings coming in. Let me take a break here. Sharice Joseph, good morning. Good morning. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. Russell Jenkins, my brother. Good morning. Appreciate you. Michelle Hudson, this is therapy at its core, y'all. Helpful tools. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you as well. April Wheaton, good morning. Good morning, sis. Appreciate you. So when I talk about being intentional, I'm talking about the intent of what you want to accomplish. Be intentional with the things you put on that vision board. Be intentional about the thoughts in your head that you put on paper that you want to achieve for this year. See, we get so caught up in, Netflix and chill. We get so caught up in all these other things, Netflix and chill, or I got to do this, or I got to do that, or, the minor things. And don't get me wrong, the minor things have become major things. And we've let the major things that we want to accomplish, that we want to do in this life, become the minor. We have let it change our directive and our narrative become where chilling, watching movies and things of that have become a major part of our existence. Where in all reality, what you find out when you get into that mindset, all you're doing is existing. You're not living. You're not living. If your mindset is that this week alone, I'm going to binge watch this movie on Netflix, rather than working on you, awakening who you are to your core to become a better you, the best version of you, because you don't have a focus of what your purpose is or defining what your why is, you're lost. And I won't say you're lost. but you're selling yourself short. Let's put it that way. You're selling yourself short. Let's move on. Power. Remember the 3 P's: purpose, power, and possibility. Power. You have the power. You have the power to become and to be able to do anything you want to do. Anything. Power, claiming your strength and standing firm in who you are. Not who they want you to be, not who they thought you were, not who they talk about you may be. Come on now. Power, claiming your strength and standing firm in who you are. Lachelle Hudson, speaking of Netflix, check out The Secret. I shall. I think I read that book years ago, but I had to watch the movie. Claiming your power is about choosing courage over comfort, authenticity over approval, and self-respect over conformity. What's a situation in your life where you can step into your power? What's holding you back from showing? See, a lot of times, let's just be clear here. When we say power, a lot of people take power as being aggressive. They take power as being a bully. They take power as being where you're the one forcing everything. Well, you should be. This is your life. Take control. Take your power back. Take your power back to become the best version of you, not who they want you to be and everything. Like as I said, I mean, come on. The power lies in you. The power lies in you. God didn't. Let me caveat here or digress for a minute. God didn't create any of us to be status quo. He created us to be great in everything that we want to do while we have this body on this earth. But we sell ourselves short because we doubt ourselves. Well, I can't do this, or I can't do that, or he's better than me, or she's better than me, and all the different things that we bring up in the negative about ourselves, where we put this barrier around what we can't do, rather than concentrating on putting ourselves out there of what we can do. You didn't make it this far by chance. You didn't make it this far by chance. So the power you have, take it back. You've given so many people in your life power over you and your thoughts and your processes and who you are. 2025, take it back. Take it back. And it's not like you got to go grab it. No. What I'm telling you is, if there's something you don't want to do, don't do it. If you can't give someone something, or someone asks you to do something for them and you can't do it, stop saying yes. Take the power back to say no when you know it's something you don't want to do or it's of no interest to you. No does not require an explanation, but we do. We do. Why? Because when we say no, we're more concerned about the other person's feelings than us standing on what we said no about. Why? Think about that. Why, if someone asks you something and you say no, why do you feel the need to say anything after no? No is the end of the sentence for 2025. That's it. That's it. If someone asks you for something, or someone asks you to do something and you don't want to do it, and you say no, that's it. Stop explaining yourself to appease other folks. Take your power back. They'll respect you more, because no is no. Because here's the thing. Here's the part. People tell us no, and we accept it with no problem. But when we tell someone no, we feel guilty. We feel like we owe them an explanation. We feel if we tell them no, there's going to be some discord and all these different things. If somebody asks you for some money, normally we say, man, I ain't got it. You got it. You just don't want to give it to them. Tell them no. They ask you why. No. How hard is that? Take your power back. And then the last of the 3 P's, possibility. Oh, possibility. Every time I see this possibility, I think about Kevin Garnett when they won the NBA championship when he was with the Boston Celtics. And he just yelled up into the in the arena, anything is possible. Possibility. Keeping your mind open to all the opportunities life might bring. Keeping your mind open to all the opportunities life might bring. When you talk about possibility, I'm sure if we all sat for a minute and thought about things that were presented to us that we just weren't feeling, we didn't have the confidence in ourselves to think we could do it, or we didn't follow through on it because it didn't seem like it was going to work out, or any of the above, or we didn't feel like we were qualified, or any of those negative things you put into your mind. The possibilities of putting yourself out there to try, just to try, is all it takes. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it, you work on it, and you push forward with it. Possibility is the mindset of staying open to new opportunities, ideas, and experiences, even when they come from unexpected places. It's about believing that your life can change in meaningful ways and that you are capable of achieving more than you imagine. This openness allows you to see challenges as stepping stones, not obstacles, and to embrace growth and transformation. Possibility. This goes back to where we sell ourselves short a lot of times about what we're not capable of, or what our mindset says that I've never done it before, so I'm probably not going to be good at it. Our mindset tells us you're not built for this, because what we find out is in life, what we do is we fool ourselves into thinking we're less. Nobody, we get mad. Let's start here for a minute. We get mad when we think someone has downplayed us about our abilities, but we do it to ourselves each and every day. But we get mad at that person that says something about you ain't this or you can't do that or anything. We get upset. But you don't get upset with yourself when you talk yourself out of the blessings that God has bestowed upon you with your greatness. When those opportunities present themselves, you're like, no, I'm gonna pass on that because I don't think I'm someone who presents you with an opportunity, seeing something in you that says you're the right person for what they're trying to do. But we blow it off. We act like we're not worthy. We act like, I can't learn. We don't want to put ourselves out there because we're so afraid of failing that we don't even try. We're so afraid of failing that we don't even try. When you were a kid, we don't remember, we were babies, but I'm pretty sure when you first tried to walk and you fell on that pamper, you fell on your butt, what'd you do? You got back up. And a lot of times, the reason you got back up because somebody over there was cheering you on. Somebody was looking at you and said, come on now, come on, you can do it. When's the last time you pumped yourself up and told yourself you can do something? That the possibility of you being successful at this is greater than you failing at this. It's a mindset. It's a mindset that as we grow and we as we get older in life, we feel that this is routine, this is where I'm comfortable, this is where I'm at. So we get that tunnel vision where we don't see the possibilities over here. We don't see the possibilities over there. We just see what's in front of us. And if that possibility or that opportunity isn't right in front of us, we don't see it. Even when someone comes to you and says, hey, I'll give you a prime example. Shout out to my boy OT. When he came to me about doing this, I was like, nah, bro, I don't think so. And I blew him off for about a year. Blew him off. Nah, man, I don't think that's me. Nah, I don't think I'm the person to do no talk show or radio show or whatever you got going on. But, I'll check you out and see what you got going on. This is what I told him. And then one day, because he kept being consistent, I said, what I need to do, man? And it was more to get him off my back than to actually start doing this. And once I did it, the possibilities became endless. Now, that's just my story. You got a story. Everyone has a story similar to what I just told you, because we blow people off because we don't think we have the potential. We don't think we have, the skills. We don't think we have the talent. But someone looks at you each and every day and sees something in you that they wish they had. Anything is possible. Possibility. So for 2025, as I mentioned, the 3 Ps: purpose, power, and possibility. 2025, be intentional and use the 3 Ps: purpose, power, and possibility. And the main one in there, in the P's, is to know your why. Why are you doing it? Define your why. Do that exercise today. Define your why. Why do you do this? Why do you love this person? Why do you continue to go to that job? Why? Ask yourself why. And be honest with yourself. Because a lot of times you're going to find out you're doing it not for the love of it, but just because. But for 2025 also, I want you to set meaningful goals. Set your goals, smart goals. Focus on the present. Now, I'm a true believer. Yeah, I'm a true believer. It's okay. It's okay to reflect on the past. It becomes a problem when you start dwelling in the past. Reflection is one thing. Dwelling is another. You can reflect on things that have gone wrong. You can reflect on things you did right. You can reflect on all those things, but don't dwell on them. Focus on the present. Mindfulness, practice being fully present in your daily activities, reducing distractions and increasing focus. Vision board. Celebrate small wins. Now, this is a big one for me. Celebrate small wins. Let me tell you something. And y'all have heard me say this before, and I'm going to say it again in 2025. When you do something wrong, or somebody thinks you did something wrong, or you make a mistake in your life, we know it's a lesson. It's a lesson you learn from it. But the people around you, people that know you, that want to see you fail, will yell your losses from the rooftop. Why aren't you celebrating your wins? Why are you allowing them to glamorize and publicize your losses, but when it comes to your wins, you're quiet as a church mouse? Celebrate the small wins. It don't have to be nothing major. If you walk every day and you went from 1 mile to 2 miles because it's been hard on your knees and stuff, that's a win. If you get up in the morning, you feel groggy, but now you find yourself going to sleep a little early, you're changing your diet, now you wake up, you got energy and everything, that's a win. You're changing your lifestyle to win. Stop looking at everything like it has to be this major explosion or celebration. Celebrate the small wins. Did you lose a pound this week? Celebrate that. Your goal may be 30 pounds, but it only takes one to get you started. Build intentional habits. And this is what we were talking about. Be intentional. Daily routines. Develop habits that reflect your intentions, like morning reflections or journaling. I can't get into the journaling. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big sit down and write, and it's just not me. But morning reflections, I'm getting better at. Taking time, sitting in a quiet spot, reflecting on the day before and concentrating on the path forward today. Daily affirmations. When's the last time you looked in the mirror and told yourself, whew, well, you're killing them? When's the last time you looked in the mirror and gave yourself a compliment? When's the last time you looked in the mirror and said to yourself, with all your flaws, I'm worthy? When's the last time you did that? Because we always want the compliments from the outside. Somebody see you, oh, you fine. Girl, you wearing them pants. Boy, you look sharp in that suit. Boy, that grade kicking. All those different compliments you hear from the outside. When's the last time you gave yourself a compliment? Start complimenting yourself in 2025. Because here's the thing. A lot of times when we compliment ourselves or we look in, it's kind of odd. Don't get me wrong, it's kind of odd. But when you look in the mirror at yourself and you see your flaws and everything, but you realize that, damn, I'm still going. I'm still here. Compliment yourself. Stop waiting on everyone else to solidify who you are and what you're about on this earth. That's your job. Looking for the outside people that come and tell you that you're good looking and all this, that just solidifies who you are from who you know you are. By telling yourself each and every day, I'm worthy. Time management is a big one. Allocate your time to activities that align with your goals and values. As I mentioned about the Netflix. You're sitting there watching movies all day and everything. How's that aligning with your goals? Now, if you're watching something educational, that's one thing. Don't get me wrong. Yes, you should find time to sit down and relax and watch a movie, but that shouldn't be your main goal. That should not be your main goal. Your main goal should be improving yourself, getting better with who you are, and doing the things that are going to make you better in 2025. Awaken the best version of you. That's where we're at. 2025. Strengthen relationships, meaningful connections. Be intentional about nurturing relationships with people who inspire and support you. Authenticity. Approach interactions with honesty and openness. Practice gratitude, daily gratitude. Acknowledge and appreciate the positives in your life, fostering a mindset of abundance. Let me say this. Most of us tell people in our lives, in our families, and our friends, because I'm getting better at this, tell them that we love them. Just a simple, I love you. Love you, bro. Love you, sis. Love you. But when have you acknowledged to them the reason why you appreciate them? Acknowledge and appreciate the positives in your life, fostering a mindset of abundance. The people in your life are not in your life by chance. You don't keep them in your life just because. Let them know you appreciate them. Let them know you appreciate them. To have gratitude towards those that have been in your life or those that are in your life for a reason and a purpose. Hold on to them. Show gratitude towards them. Let them know why they're important to you and how they make your life better. That's it. That's it. So this year, 2025, be intentional. Step into this new year with the 3 Ps: purpose, power, and possibility. Be intentional. And overall, define your why. Define your why this year. Let that be the baseline of who you are and what you're doing is your why for this year, for 2025. Yeah. That's where we're at. Let's go. Mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. It's the year 2025. We're 4 days in, Some people had resolution, they done broke them already. Let's just be real. Some people, they're rewriting them right now. As I said before, get them pads out, get that vision board started. But in 2025, we're being intentional. Purpose, power, and possibility. But today's mind, body, and soul, the quote, a fresh start isn't a place. It's a mindset. Begin today. A fresh start isn't a place. It's a mindset. Begin today. Now, we just went over a lot of things that you can change this year and being intentional and the 3 Ps, the purpose, power, and possibility. But each year, we say, this is going to be my year. We hear people say that this is my year. This is going to be my year of abundance, my year. A new year just signifies a fresh start for some folks. Let's just be honest. When you go through that 365 days from January 1st to December 31st, during that year, we look at, as we get to the bumps and bruises, all the different things we go through in a year, we look at, I can't wait until next year. Depending on what happens in August, we be looking for New Year's in August, depending on what's going on. But because of that, we concentrate so much on a beginning of a new year and the end of the year to start all over again. A fresh start isn't a place, it's a mindset. It's not a date as well, it's a mindset. Begin today. You don't have to wait till the first of the year to start working out. You don't have to wait till the first of the year to start walking. You don't have to wait till the first of the year to change your diet. You don't have to wait till the first of the year to do these things that I talked about being intentional. However, we put that trademark of the first of the year, I'm going to be different this year and everything like that, because our mindset has conditioned us that the first of the year is where a new start happens. If you wake up, say September 1st, and you have a thought about something you want to do, start that day. Don't get in this mindset that, September, I can wait till January to get it started, because by January, the fire is gone. The mindset has changed. All these different distractions have happened. When you have something that you're ready to start that day. Doesn't have to be, if you don't have the money, you don't have to put it off. If you don't have the means to do it, don't put it off. Put it on your vision board. Put it on your vision board. Look at it every day. Come up with ways that you can start working it even before you have to financially put into it. There's things that we can put in motion way before January 1st. There are a lot of times we hear people say, first of the year, I'm going to be so new. I'm going to be brand new come January 1st. But what you find out is people been saying that January 1st of when I was born in 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, and so on and so forth. And then you step back and you ask yourself, or you ask that person who's every year telling it's going to be a new year for me in 2024 or 2025 or 2023 or whatever it is. You ask, what's going to be different this year? They can't tell you, because there's no focus, because the mindset is concentrating on a date and a time rather than the mission of what you want to accomplish. A fresh start isn't a place. It's a mindset. Condition your mind to know that whatever I want to accomplish, I can start right now. Whatever I want to do, I can start today. If I want to lose 30 pounds, put the donut down today. No, I ain't trying to get in nobody's business, because I eat a lot of sweets myself. I'm a sweets guy. But at the same time, I know when I'm on a mission or I got something I got to do, that's when I got to kick it in. Not, I'm going to do this come January 1st, or I'm going to do this come, August, or when I turn 55, or when I turn 60, this is what I'm going to do. No, it's the mindset. Change your mindset, and everything else in your direction will change. A fresh start isn't a place, it's a mindset. begin today. Whatever you had planned for this year, hopefully you're sticking to it. It's only 4 days. But if not, get that vision board, put it up on the vision board, what you want to accomplish, so you can see it every day. Do the things that you know you want to accomplish and put your whole into it. Don't half-ass it. Don't half-ass it. See, there's a lot of times where we half-ass what we want to do because we're like, well, you know, it'll come, you know. No. Go all in. Go all in. That's the only way you're going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, if you go all in. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hey, look, January 2025. As I mentioned, we got a lot of things coming up. We got inauguration. We got, and then let's not overlook the fact, even though it's inauguration day, it is still Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday celebrated. Don't let all this craziness that's going on around us with this inauguration, all that stuff, hinder what you want to do and what you want to enjoy on that day. Go out, go to the parades, go somewhere, be a people of service, serve foods at the food kitchen, do whatever you need to do on that day. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday should not be a day to just Netflix and chill. It should be a day of purpose, a day of work. So let's do that. Let's do that. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We got some big things coming. Got some interviews coming up. I haven't put them on the calendar yet, but look out for those. And we're going to get back to our men's talks and our women's talks. A man's perspective, soul sessions, a man's perspective and a woman's perspective. We're going to get into that. And having a conversation the other day with my wife, I think I might touch on some relationship stuff this year. It's been a minute. I don't do relationship stuff because, you know, I don't think I was the best at it in my past. But, you know, sometimes you just got to put yourself out there. So I'm not going to put any barriers on what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about it and we're going to go from there. Judgment and everything like that, you know, it is what it is. I appreciate y'all tuning in. As I always say before I sign off, love yourself, love one another, keep your head up, and most definitely keep your faith in God. I'll see y'all again next week, and I'm out. I'll holla. Peace.